Hey everybody, good evening. It's Chris here at First United Methodist Church. I've got your Saturday evening thingy tonight. It's good to be with you. So this morning, I had a peach. I ate a peach as part of my breakfast, and I've got some video from that. It was messy. Good peaches usually are messy, right? First, I tried to cut it into slices because I was going to share it with Lisa, but I had trouble with that. It didn't want to come away from the pit, and so I ended up just having to eat it. And I got, I did it the right way. I leaned way over the sink and got like this and got down really low and then got this sloppy peach stuff all over my face. But a ripe peach is just about the best thing that nature can produce on its own, right? And there's one particular peach in my history that was and remains the single best piece of fruit that I have ever eaten. But at first, I didn't want it. I wasn't interested at all. See, I was on a mountain biking vacation with two other dirtbags, and it was about this time of year 19 years ago in Colorado. We were out there for 2 weeks, riding every trail we could find. And one morning we were driving from Winter Park down to Silverton because we knew there was some good riding down there. And that's a long drive. If you know Colorado geography, Winter Park to Silverton's a long drive. You're going to be at it all day. And I had awakened that morning not feeling very well. I hadn't slept very well. I thought I was getting a cold. I had a headache. I was tired, right? I just didn't feel well. And so the stage was set for me to have a really unpleasant day in the car driving down to Silverton. And this was way back before we all had our phones telling us how to get places, right? And so at one point it was my turn to be the navigator in the car in our group of folks. And so I was in the passenger seat. And I still don't feel that great. And I've got the map spread out on my lap and a cup of cold coffee that's disgusting, and I've got a headache, and all I really want to do is shut my eyes and sleep. But it's my turn to navigate, so I'm navigating. And I screwed it up. I was trying to find us a shortcut around going through the city of Grand Junction, right? And so I was trying to find a shortcut because that's where we were going to turn, and I blew it. I got us off the road at the wrong place. And so we're driving down this road that we didn't intend to be on, but it's about time to switch drivers anyway. And so we pull over. We pull over into Mike, or not Mike. Mike is one of my friends. We pulled over into Ruth and Ernest Ball's fruit stand, into their driveway. They ran a fruit stand out of their garage. And all we were going to do is switch drivers. That's all we were going to do. And so Mike and John, my friends, they get out of the car, and they're trading places. I'm just going to stay in the passenger seat. I'm just sitting there with my head aching and my eyes half closed, just wanting to get back on the road. But Ruth comes down the driveway toward us, and she's already got some peaches in her hand. And how would you boys like some peaches? She hollers out. I don't know if she talked like that or not, but that's my impression of Ruth Ball. So I'm thinking, Mike, just get in the car, get behind the wheel, and get us out of here. I don't want this lady's fruit, right? And what I really don't want is her hard sell. I hate it when people try to sell me something that is just not in my mind already. Right? Something I'm not looking for. But then she says, they're free. And Mike and John are all over that. They're the two guys I was traveling with, right? But I'm immediately suspicious when I hear that. They're free, right? But Mike and John, they go right up to her, and they take some peaches out of her hands. And, now it looks like we're going to be there for a while. So I get out of the car, and she comes over to me. Ruth does. And so the story is that Ruth and Ernest, they have this seasonal fruit stand that they run out of their driveway. And it's licensed to sell at specific times, at a specific window of time. And and they can't sell yet. But some of the first fruit has come early, and it's ready to be moved now, and it's going to spoil if they can't get rid of it. And so Ruth says, she can't sell us the peaches, but she says, we can have as many as we want for free, as long as we eat them right there in her driveway. And then she hands me one, which I don't really appreciate because I like to pick my own produce. I want to get the good stuff, right? But she hands me this thing, and it looks horrible. I mean, it looks terrible. It's huge, first of all, and it's as big as a softball, maybe bigger. It's as big as a small cantaloupe, right? And it's soft, and it's squishy, and it's bruised, and the skin is peeling off in big slabs. You know, if I were choosing peaches at the grocery store and I saw this thing in the box, I would definitely avoid it. Or maybe I'd even pick it up and I'd put it over here off to the side so that the other peaches don't get whatever's wrong with this one, right? It's the last thing I would consider putting in my mouth, right? But Ruth is insistent, and she says, this one's the best. She gets right in my face. This one's the best, right? And she pretty much demands that I eat it. Skeptical doesn't even begin to describe how I feel about this peach. But, you know, sometimes it's easier just to do what you're told. And I'm thinking that, you know what, maybe if I just take a bite out of this thing, we can get back in the car and get out of here. So I do. I take a bite. I lift this leprous-looking piece of fruit to my mouth, and I take a bite. And it's fantastic. I mean, it's amazing, right? You got to be kidding me with this peach. And thick, sugary juice just exploded into my mouth, right? And it squirted out the corners and ran down my chin and down my arms, and it dripped off my elbows, and just like I was this morning, I was just covered in this peach sloppy mess. And it was so good. This is the peach that Willy Wonka would make in his candy factory, right? It was so intense. And I swear to God, when I bit into it, I could hear the tabernacle choir singing hallelujah, right? I mean, I got saved. I got saved by this peach, right? This day. That's how good that peach was. And so there's not really much of a point to this story, other than it was about this time of year, 19 years ago, that I got saved by a peach. And, you know, sometimes it's peach season right now. It's Colorado peach season. I look forward to this every year. But sometimes on those days when we aren't at our best, right? On those days when we're sort of feeling sorry for ourselves, God shows up. God shows up with something simple, like a peach, or someone like Ruth Ball, or maybe a situation that's just so simple but yet so sublime that it brings us back. It brings us back to a spirit of gratitude, and it brings us back to an awareness of the blessings that are around us, right? And so for those small blessings, like peaches and Ruth and the people and all the things that God throws our direction that we should be thankful for those things, I am thankful today, and I hope you are too. Anyway, that's all I have for you tonight, just a stupid little story. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow morning on the live stream, right? Either join us here live at church in person, or join us on the live stream, 8:30, 10 o'clock. Or you can catch up with us later at aboutfirst.com. Pastor Matt is going to be taking us through the 10th commandment. It's the big finish to our 10-week series on the 10 commandments. We'll also have a preview of what's coming up next week, the new sermon series that's starting. And if you haven't seen what that is yet, I'm not going to spoil it for you. You're just going to have to tune in and watch. So until then, I hope you all have a really good Saturday night, and see you tomorrow.